Greetings and salutations. It's Dave Duford at Duford Insurance Group, where I train and recruit agents to become top producers and selling final expense Medicare and annuities face-to-face and over the phone. Today, I am joined with a friend in the business named Mr. Bobby. Bobby, say hello out there.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for having me on, David.
Yeah, Bobby is here because he's going to tell us his story about how in the past couple of months, past 2 months, Bobby has written a total of $45,000 in final expense annual premium part-time. And here's the kicker, working $2.50 leads. And what we're going to do in this interview is kind of go into a conversation with Bobby about who he is, how he got into this business, how he stumbled across this lead system that's allowed him to get really cheap yet high quality leads. And then he's going to kind of tell you how you can leverage the same kind of system as well. So make sure you stay tuned for that. So Bobby, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved in selling final expense.
Well, I might have sort of a similar story as everybody. I didn't go to school to sell final expense. I didn't wake up one day and say I wanted to get in the insurance business or sell final expense. So I was in the car business. My background, I was in the car business for the past 10, 11 years. Okay, I made a big change. I moved to where I was at, to where I'm at now. And I got back in the car business, and it was something that I just, I wasn't passionate about it anymore. And I would wake up every day, not wanting to go to work. And one day I just said, you know what? I didn't have any plans in place. I said, you know what? I'm gone. I said bye to everybody. I had no plans in place. And I just figured, I'm going to figure something out. In the car business, you set in certain skills, dealing with people and sales. There's something's going to be put in place for what I'm going to do in the future. Now, after I got out of the car business, I didn't do anything for about a month or so, right? I was spending time with my family and my kids and doing things that, my wife and kids, and I was doing things that I wasn't doing before. So I had put in some applications, I think like on ZipRecruiter or something like that. And I forgot about me putting in one for, life insurance, but, on ZipRecruiter, if you've ever been on there, I mean, there's 1,000 life insurance, how to make X amount of money per month, per year. So I was like, man, I'm seeing this every day. Let me see what this is all about, right? I never even thought about it. So I clicked on the link. I forgot all about it. About a week later, somebody calls me and telling me about an opportunity and things like that. I'm sure everybody's here. Everybody that's watching this video has came across somebody that gave them a phone call, same as mine. And, I talked to him for a little while. I said, okay, that's cool. I'll get back in contact with you. Well, I wasn't doing anything, right? And I had never really put thought into life insurance. So I started looking it up and Googling, and I talked to a few people that were in the business that I did know. And I'm like, man, I called the guy back and I said, are you sure? You're saying if I do this, I put this system in place and yada, yada, I can make X amount of money on this certain schedule, whatever it is. And, really genuine guy that I talked to on the phone, and I believed him. And I ended up getting my license, probably within a month after that. And yeah, and I was off and running from there. I was in the field, running business, so I really went all in my first week. I followed the process. I spent an X amount on leads. I was fairly good on the phone. I set appointments. I didn't know anything. I didn't shadow anybody. I went to my first house. I was having problems with my internet, all sorts of different things, but I kind of just got around it, and I was having success in the field. Now, that was during the time when COVID really started happening. Things started getting shut down in March, right? So I was having success. I'm like, man, this is good. This is awesome. And then I kind of just shut out. I said, hey, maybe this is going to go away within a couple of weeks or maybe a month. And at that time, I'm going to buy some leads again, and I'll get back turned on and get off and running. Well, as we all know, that it didn't necessarily happen that way. So I started looking into telesales, right? So I started looking into the telesales. I was talking with my upline at that specific time, and they said, hey, don't try telesales, just stay in the field. But it was something that I was curious about. And at that time, that's whenever I contacted David, and and Jason Final Expense, and we got started in telesales, and I was with the I was with the um, a certain vendor at that time that couldn't get me the leads that I wanted in a certain area. So I started kind of looking around, and how to run my own Facebook leads, or just any kind of lead generation possible. That way I can be in control of it, and I don't have to call somebody to say, hey, can you get me prospects to talk to? So I spent a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of money in trying to figure it out on my own. And during that time, I reached out to different marketing organizations, and they said, I'll show you how to do it. You pay me $3,000-4,000 up front, or some of them were $5,000 to $6,000 up front, and we'll set everything in place for you. And good thing I didn't go that route, because these weren't actual people in the business. These were not agents. They didn't know the people that we talked to on the phone. They don't know the verbiage, and things like that. Pretty much what they were telling me is, you pay me $4,000 or $5,000, we're gonna test out 10 different ads and we're gonna see which one works, right? And the more I thought about it, I said, let me think about this overnight for a couple of days. The more I thought about it, I thought to myself, why would I give somebody $4,000 or $5,000 to set something up that they have to test and see if it's going to work? So I said, you know what, I'm going to figure this out on my own. I did some networking with some other agents, and I figured it out on my own. And ever since, I've been running my own uh, Facebook leads in certain areas and generating them anywhere from 2 to 3, sometimes maybe $4 or $5. And I was doing that in the field, and now primarily over the phone.
So why did you go the route of doing your own Facebook leads? There's a lot of Facebook lead vendors out there. You can just
Right.
simply point and click. You can buy all various sorts of leads. Why did you decide to take this in house and do it yourself?
Well, I was networking with some guys that were that had processes in place where they were running their own leads, for the same as me, 2, 3, 4, $5 at the time. And they're like, man, it's fine if you want to buy $25 leads from vendors, but why don't you look in and trying to just figuring it out on your own? Here's some resources, take a look at this. And after me doing that and testing and finding out what works, I figured, hey, if I can get a huge influx in leads for a fraction of the cost, and I can control it, turn it on, turn it off whenever I want to, why wouldn't I do that? Now, it did take some learning, it did take some time, and it took some testing. So during that time, I figured out the most high intent lead that um, that I could provide myself, right? And during that time, I felt like giving up, because I was getting leads generating for somewhere between $10 to $15, right? And I was just about to give up on the leads, because what I was doing just wasn't working. So one day I had a bright idea, and I thought to myself, in anything, any marketing, any sales, the riches are in the niches, right? I'm sure we've all heard of that. So what I did, I kind of just niched down to what vendors are doing. I niche down in my ad text, my ad image, and targeting certain areas. Then I told myself, this has to work. If it does not work, I don't know what I'm going to do. Right? I'm just going to keep on spending $2,000 a week on leads. Right? So the next morning, I woke up and my phone would not stop going off. I was getting ding, ding, ding. I was getting leads. I was amazed by that day. I got 80 leads, 80, 85, 90 leads, somewhere in that area. And I was amazed. And I said, man, I figured out my own. Now, some people might be having success doing leads kind of similar, but I figured out my own formula through trial and error. So it's proven. That's how it started. And I have not done anything different since then. And I could have gave up that night, but I woke up the next morning, and the next day I got close to 100 leads.
Wow, that's awesome. So let me kind of
Yeah.
share some kind of examples here on the screen that Bobby was gracious enough to share with us. So this is kind of an example from our telesales group me for some of the production he's been doing. Again, pretty much telephonically, right? I mean, there's kind of a
All
mix,
telephonically. Well,
completely
for
telephonic.
myself, all telephonic.
Right. So Bobby's selling over the phone, and you can see some of the examples of the business he wrote inside of a couple of days here recently. And on the screen here, what is on the screen? Can you explain what you see
So
here to the audience that may be unfamiliar with what this
yeah,
is?
be sure to circle that. But at the top of the screen, it shows 1,045 leads, okay, where you're hovering over. Right under that, to acquire those 1,045 leads, it costs $2,878, the top left of the screen,
Gotcha. Right.
okay? Which,
Wow.
you divide that, that gives you $2.75 per lead, okay?
Wow.
Now that's in a certain time frame. I didn't get all those leads in one day or in one week, but that's kind of a lifetime within a few months of leads off of a certain campaign. Now I have several other campaigns. That's just one campaign that I had running on a specific ad.
Yeah, and
Now,
this isn't the only one. I mean, there's other ones here.
yeah,
In case
yeah.
you guys are wondering if it's just a one shot kind of luck. Explain this one for us, Bobby.
So this one is something similar. It's kind of a lifetime within a certain time frame. 744 leads on this specific campaign for 18.70 and 66 cents. Now this cost per lead, if you go down to the right, was $2.51.
Right. Right. Now, why is the cost? Because I know people are out there like smashing their head up against the wall. They're paying the decimals moved over one, and they're paying $25 a lead. How are you able to get a lead that's 10% less or 10% the cost of what people are finding from the vendors we all have heard of? What are you doing to do that? As
So
much as you
quick,
want to tell us, I know there's a little bit of a secret here, but
no, I
how is it
mean,
possible to do that?
it's really simple. Just like we talked about a second ago. When you niche down in marketing and sales, and when you provide certain marketing that nobody has ever seen before, but they know it's still targeted to them, you're going to get so many clicks. You're going to get so many leads because they've never seen these ads before. Now, if you want to buy leads from vendors, that's absolutely fine. But keep in mind, vendors are charging 20, 25, 30, $35 a lead, or they're just, especially at this time during and after the political campaign, you just can't get any leads at all in general. Now, these same ads that you're buying for $25 or leads you're buying for $25, everybody in every state are seeing these same exact ads. Okay. And now that's part now um, the price they're raising it up, it's business, right? They're raising up the cost of lead. But on top of that, they have to charge you a whole lot more amount because everybody is seeing these ads and they need several ads to just get, a few leads. Now, I don't need 10, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 different ads to get a batch of 30 leads. Okay. I know what works. I know what works in every area. And it's all the same thing. You niche down. I I know I only have one ad running at a time, or if I want to switch locations, I only have one ad running in that location because it's proven to work and it's never failed. So
So at the end of the day, I guess what I'm hearing here, and this makes perfect sense, right? The lead vendors handle an inordinate amount of volume, right? They get all sorts of
right,
agents buying leads. How much can they actually niche, right? They have to sell something that's generic and scalable, right? Because they're not dealing with two or three people, they're dealing with hundreds upon hundreds. And when everybody's kind of following, if I'm hearing you right, correct me if I'm wrong, everybody's kind of doing the same thing, a generic final expense ad, you're kind of pitted against each other in competition a little bit more so than if you had niched down and we're speaking to kind of a subgroup of that typical final expense population. Is that kind of a good description of why you're able to get a better price because you go deeper than the typical ad?
exactly. And the thing is, I have the time to do that. Now, if you have a vendor that's running a business for 50 to 100 agents, right? They don't have the time to create a separate ad image with certain ad text and demographic and recreate that every single time. All they do is use the same one for all the 100 agents, turn it down on in a certain location, and and get it running, right? So what's going to happen there is you're going to cost um, your cost is going to go up per lead, and you're only going to be able to get a certain amount of leads in a certain time frame.
Now, if I recall correctly, Bobby, you're not doing a ton of outbound. Maybe you are doing outbound calls, but I noted that you had some kind of system to where the leads call you, or at least are expecting your call. Can you kind of explain how that works within your system?
Right. So there's a couple ways to go about taking care of your lead flow, right? So there's agents in the field or in telesales that print everything off the old school way, right? You don't even use an Excel sheet. You print off the sheets of paper and you call them from there, right? And that works, okay? But depending if you're doing it the right way. But what I found is a system that kind of works for me, and I had to spend the least amount of time putting in work and getting the same results as if I wasn't. So from when I run an ad, and they leads, people opt in, they go to a thank you form, and from that thank you form, they have the option to call me, or they go directly to my calendar. So I'm filling up, doing this part time. I'm filling up a calendar with about 30 to 40 appointments a week. Okay. So what I do, I have my calendar open, let's say from um, 9 or 10 a.m. to about 6 o'clock, 5:30 to 6 o'clock p.m. So I have appointments set at every 45 minutes. Okay. My calendar is full. People will actually go from your lead, get off of Facebook to your calendar, answer a few more, what I would say, qualifying questions, and then submit their information again. Okay. So I get the on my calendar. I call, let's say I have an appointment at 10 o'clock. If they answer, they're expecting my phone call, right? And it's a whole lot easier to start building rapport right off the bat when somebody's expecting your phone call, and it's easier to get into to the flow of your script, whether it's going to be an in-person appointment or via telesales. Now, um, okay, so if they don't answer the phone, which you're still going to get no shows, it's not this 100% perfect formula, but you're still going to get no shows as if you were in person, right? So if somebody no shows me over the phone, that's fine. I have 45 minutes to call the other 50 leads that came in within the last couple of days, and you're going to get somebody on the phone that's going to hear you out that just didn't go to your calendar, right? But with me, if I have 8 to 10 appointments one day, I'm going to sell at least one to two of those leads that day, and then I'll probably sell one more that was just a fresh phone call that didn't go to my actual calendar to set an appointment. So very easy, thorough process once it's set in place. Now it takes some testing, and takes the time to learn how to set that up. But I already took all the time to set it up, and learn how it works. And I went through all the trials that it may come with. So I know exactly how to do it. I do it like that, and it's very easy to get set up once you know how to set it up.
Great. So, like I said earlier on, you've had incredible success. I've sold a big bucket of premium here last couple months, not even full time, doing this exact system. And the good news is, part of your efforts in business is also as a marketer and help agents essentially duplicate the same process that you do. So, can you kind of tell everybody who's watching this who would be intrigued by getting the very kind of low cost leads that we showed on the screen earlier, how you and what you offer as far as helping these agents do exactly the same thing that you're doing?
So I never planned on I created a course, very simple, easy course to create your own ads and get the leads just the same as I am. Okay. So to start over, I never planned on creating a course or helping other agents get leads, but let me click out of this here. I get lots of phone calls and lots of messages saying, "Hey, what are you doing to write so much business?" Or "What are you doing to get your leads? Where do you buy your leads from?" And I explain to everybody, "Hey, I don't buy leads from vendors. I create my own leads." And there's been sparked tons of conversations, lots of emails, lots of texts and phone calls. And if I'm running my own business in the field, I don't necessarily have time to get back to everybody asking how to create their own ads and get leads, with the same system as mine. So what I did, I took the time in creating a very simple course that anybody can follow and get the same results and the same success as I have. Okay. So it's not a 40 video course. It's going to take you a week or 2 weeks to go through. You can go through this very simple course within a matter of maybe just a couple of hours. Everything is step by step shown how to do it, and it's on video. You can always go back, and I'm going to give you PDFs. It's very easy, self-explanatory. It is not. It's when something's new and when something's foreign to you, it always seems like it's, you don't even want to try it. You don't want to start it. I'm going to stick to buying $30 leads from a vendor, right? But if you go through this simple step-by-step process, you're going to be able to get leads the same as I am. And you're going to learn that this was a whole lot easier than what you ever expected. And you might wish that you got into something like this, you know, before now.
So there's a lot of system
without spending a fortune.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And that kind of brings me to this next question. I mean, most agents who are new to the business, who are on Facebook or certainly on YouTube, they're seeing all sorts of stuff about systems for, Facebook based systems to market. There's a lot of competition out there. What differentiates what you do versus what's already out there? Can you highlight that for us to kind of position yourself and what you do and how it's different?
Well, kind of the similar stuff as what we went through already. So there's marketers out there that are coming in from other niche businesses, right? With anything that they did marketing for, they're coming into the life insurance realm, and they're offering done for you services for $3,000 to $4,000 upfront, $5,000 to $6,000 upfront, just to create that certain stream of revenue. But keep in mind, these are marketers that have never sold life insurance before. They don't know what works, and if they are creating something that might work a little bit, I mean, when you can begin leads for $2 to $4 compared to $12 to $14, it's a huge difference. Now, it's proven with Dave. I actually run the business. I'm in the field. I'm in the trenches, and I know how to run my own ads. Okay, so that's what makes me different from other programs, is I actually do this. Other people that set programs, I know agents, and I network with a lot of agents that maybe got set up by certain life insurance marketing agencies that you might see on YouTube or all over Facebook. And I'm like, man, they have some huge marketing agencies. I'd like to see what they're doing. So I've had a couple agents show me behind the screen, in their Facebook, what was set up for them. And you'd be surprised that if you spend $3,000 to $4,000 from a certain agency, guaranteeing you to get results, and you don't get one lead in the first week, that's a huge problem. Now, anybody that's doing that and spending that type of money, I hope you're getting your money back, because there's no reason to spend so much money up front from something that still needs to be tested and that's not proven. I'm in the trenches. I'm doing this on my own, and it's 100% proven. And that's what I'm here to offer.
Yeah, guys, this is particularly important. And I didn't realize this, but it's funny. We've kind of gone through, and it's still tangential, but a big point. I think we're at one of the most entrepreneurial points in our history. More people now are interested in running their own business than 10 years ago. There's a lot of positive reinforcement on YouTube and social media, et cetera. And one of the things that has been kind of a cottage industry with the growth of Facebook marketing and really just all social media marketing are these kind of little, just mom and pop type of digital marketers. And there's been a big push to get digital marketing into different niches where there may not have been a lot. Like 5 years ago, there really wasn't any final expense digital advertising whatsoever. So it was very much on the cusp. But what we have now is a lot of people have moved into this business as a business opportunity, but don't have actual on the ground, boots on the ground experience, in the trenches experience with who these prospects are, what they do, and having kind of a firsthand knowledge of what it is to live and breathe as a final expense agent. And this is part of the reason I brought Bobby on here, is because when you have him help you put together one of these systems or his courses, it's not based off of some perception a marketer has that has no clue what it's like to sit aside of a single wide on a piss-soaked couch with 5 cats and hair flying through the air, or listening to somebody talk and that you can hear Jerry Springer in the background, and how do you deal with all that? Like, in all seriousness, this is really important, and it sounds funny. It's a little funny, but it's true. You need somebody who understands this business experientially. And the differentiating factor to that is profound, as you've seen with just the results on the pricing of the leads. So I can't help but to underline that, because street cred on what this business is like is tremendous. So it's you're getting actual setup and advice and a course from somebody who's actively doing and selling it themselves, instead of just marketing a idea of what they think should be, but isn't based off of the reality. So walk me through, because there's going to be a lot of people listening to this, and they're going to think, oh my God, Facebook, how am I going to do this? It's got to be complicated. Can you give us what a person who is clueless, maybe doesn't know anything about Facebook, just a brief understanding, step by step, what they can expect to learn in order to make this work? Is it something that's simple? Is it complex? Build on that for us.
And that's the first thing that I thought of, right? So like I said, I didn't wake up one day saying, I want to make a course for agents how to generate their own leads. I had a lot of questions, and it was starting to take a lot of time, maybe out of my day and my production. And because I really care, and I help agents do exactly what I do, right? So I had a thought to just create a very simplified course, because it's not hard, okay? 90% of people probably do have a Facebook, and if you do, that's a plus, right? But if you don't have a Facebook, I walked you through in the course, I walk you through the simple steps how to set up a Facebook, right? It's not hard at all. It takes maybe 30 seconds, okay? I walk you through. I'm not walking you through something that we're gonna have to test and try to figure out what works. I'm giving you the exact formula, the same ad images, and how to create other ad images if you want to, the same ad verbiage to use if you want to get the same results as okay? And not one location, other locations. I get more in depth with it in the course, but it is very simple. It's nothing we have to test. I'm giving you the exact same formula of everything that I use, okay? The last thing I would want to do is give you a course, or not give you a course, but go over a course with you and say in the course, hey, let's test some things out and see what works, right? Just like everybody else. I'm giving you the actual formula of what works for me and what's going to work for you. Very simple. Like I said, it's not anything you're going to have to watch 100 videos over the course of 2 weeks and then try to set things in place. It's about 8 to 10 videos. You're going to see me on the video. I'm going to explain certain things and why I do them this way and why it makes the most sense. And you're going to have screen shares of me actually going through the course and clicking on where you need to click, what you have to do. I'm going to have files giving you the exact ads, the exact ad verbiage as I use. Very simple.
So I'm going to zip through a couple of more examples of kind of the work you're doing. So we can see here that over 221 leads were generated at an average cost of $1.93 for this particular campaign.
Right. And that particular campaign right there was in an area that a vendor is unable to run ads in, right? So, so
that's crazy too. And you brought that up. One of the problems we're seeing now with a lot of vendors is there's like statewide shutdowns in some places.
Right.
And then if it's not statewide, it's in like major metro areas. I can remember last year a vendor couldn't get leads in Boise, Idaho. So stuff like this with a different approach, you're not competing against the 20 other vendors now. You're in a league of your own at a way better price. $1.86 down here for 217 leads, over almost 3,000 spent, an average of $2.74 per lead. I mean, we can keep going. 89 cents average lead.
One thing I want to throw out there now that I'm seeing these images here. Okay. I already know the question that I'm going to get, or that you're going to get, is what are you giving away? What are you giving away to these people for free to click on? We're not giving anything away, okay? These are not giveaway funnels. I would not want to waste my time on giveaway funnels, okay? My time is very precious, and when I'm on the phone, talking with people that want to get life insurance, they all want life insurance, okay? Maybe that 1 out of 100 said, hey, I thought this was free health insurance, whatever the case, you're still going to get that. Doesn't matter. Everybody I speak to on the phone knows this is life insurance. Okay. When they're filling it's life insurance is all over the ad text. Life insurance is all over the thank you form when, or not the thank you form, the actual form they fill out when they give them the information. In big bold letters in back of the thank you form, it says life insurance with a huge underline. Everybody knows this is life insurance and nothing is being given away. There's not a giveaway funnel. Okay.
So
So
no free gift card to Walmart,
no,
no commemorative set of Bonanza or Walker Texas Ranger, or free tickets to the Maury Show or anything like that. Okay,
right,
I can
exactly.
dig that.
And right, and I was watching a video on YouTube of an agent giving a tutorial on how to do how to get leads. But in his specific leads were like $8, right? And he was giving away some kind of free tickets to go to Las Vegas for a weekend or something like that. And people were actually commenting on this and how do I set this up? What do I have to do? And I'm like, man, if you only knew you can get leads for half the cost depending on the area. You don't have to give away a free ticket to Las Vegas for the weekend. So
Right. So
yeah,
even more here, 87 cents, $1.11, bunch more here, average of 292. A couple of testimonials here. I'll zip through. You guys get the point. Um, Obviously somebody here is thrilled that they get 16 leads for the price of 3 vendor ads, much lower discount than what they've traditionally had. Anthony, an agent of mine, his testimonial, many thanks to Bobby for setting up my Facebook lead program. Already proven to do what he expected. I had hoped. If anyone needs me to vouch for him, happy to. And same thing here. Paying $2 a lead is much better than relying on lead generating companies paying them $12 or more per lead. So lots of good examples here of this system actually working for multiple people, not just some unscalable, unduplicatable process. Bobby's got this thing down and he's working it across the country with a multitude of agents. So I know there's people out here who are listening to this that at this point, most likely if you are, you're very interested to learn more about this offer that you have, this course to help them duplicate how to do this. But one more thing I'll add before we give the audience what steps you would take in order to reach out to you. What's the turnaround time on getting leads? Let's say somebody says, yes, sign me up for the coursework. From that point on, how many days do you think on average it's going to take for that agent has fresh exclusive leads in their hands?
it really just depends. You're not going to have to wait a week or more than that, but depending, you can watch the videos in just a couple hours, right? Open up your Facebook and you can set it up. It's very simple. Okay. You still have to create your ad and publish it. When you publish it, it goes under review with Facebook. Okay. Now, I've seen ads that got approved in 20 minutes. Some may take a little bit longer overnight, or it might take 48 hours to get your ads approved. And when they go active, and when they do go active, you're going to get an email saying your ad is now running and active. So it can be 24 to 72 hours. I would say is a good turnaround time.
So we're not talking a plodding course that's going to take weeks to finish. We're talking about if I sat down on a Friday, played through the tutorial that you've got, I could have leads conservatively, maybe sooner than this, but I could have hopefully ads set up and approved by Facebook by that Monday, generating leads by Tuesday or Wednesday. Pretty safe to say.
100% safe to say.
Cool.
Super simple. I'll walk you through it. It is not hard. I thought about all the questions that might come up front, so I adjusted accordingly. Okay. Very simple. You see me on the videos talking to you just like this. You see my screen walking you through it. Very easy. And I think anybody that's looking into generating leads and saving a whole lot of money, this is the course for you.
So where can agents go to learn more about the system that you're offering?
Right. What we're going to do, we're going to set up a link in the description on this video that we're doing here. Click the link. You're going to you're just going to input your name and your phone number, and on the thank you form, it's gonna route you to my calendar. So you go to my calendar, you select a date and time. I'm gonna give you a personal phone call, and we're just gonna go over a lead strategy for you. Maybe go over any problems that you're having, how I can help you. So you're gonna speak to me personally, and I'm gonna go over the course with you and get you access if that's something that you wanted to do. But nonetheless, we could at least talk about the any problems you may be having with leads, you can go over it with me, and we can just go from there.
Bobby, thank you so much for taking time out to explain how you do things and how you could possibly help a lot of people out there. So I encourage everybody to go ahead and check out what Bobby has to offer. Again, if you look below this video, you should see a link that should take you to the appropriate website to do exactly what Bobby just described. If there's any comments, questions, please feel free to leave them below. You're always welcome to reach out to me. And again, I think you guys, if you're interested in this approach to generating leads, you definitely reach out to Bobby because he knows what he's doing and he's actively doing what he's teaching. Thanks again, Bobby, for being here. And you guys have a good rest of the day.
Peace. All right. Thanks.